Hi everybody, Chad Wesley Smith here for Juggernaut Training Systems, bringing you our fifth and final installment in our Bench Pillars series. I am joined by IPF World Champion and World Record holder Marissa Inda, also the American record holder in the bench, 95.5 kilograms in the 52 kilo class. That's about 210 at 114 pounds body weight. We've already talked about in our previous pillars, foot position and pressure, upper back position, how to find your grip width, optimal bar position in the hand and a wrist position, as well as where to touch on your chest and maximizing your position with a high chest and great breathing. Here in part 5, we're going to address leg drive and bar path. And the two are very interrelated. So we started talking about the first kind of key part of leg drive way back in part 1 of our series, about having pressure through the feet. And now in this part, we'll expand on that. Again, this is going to be whether you have your feet tucked under you more like Marissa does, or a feet out in front and wide situation. We want to have as much foot on the ground as possible, good pressure throughout the lift. And Marissa needs to be thinking about driving her toes into the end of the shoes. That's because the leg drive that we want to create is going to push her back towards her head and push her weight onto her traps, rather than pushing straight down into the floor, which is going to cause her butt to lift off of the bench. Another useful drill that you can do with your athletes is, if you just sort of lightly step on their foot like this, is to cue them to wedge their foot under yours. So this is going to give Marissa the idea of pushing out and down into the floor. So sort of pushing away from herself at a 45-degree angle. That's going to cause the energy, and you should be able to, great leg drive, you should be able to see this surge of energy come through the body. And for people who get a really tight arch setup, they might not have very much leg drive because they have so much tension in their legs to begin with that they can't really add more tension to that. And that's fine. Big arch, big leg drive tend to be a bit mutually exclusive, but again, one is not better than the other universally. You just need to find what is best for you. But as we look at achieving that leg drive, the energy again is pushing Marissa towards her upper body. You can see that surge of energy come through the body, and that is going to relate to our bar path. So as Marissa brings the bar down, she touches and then creates this surge of energy, and that energy is going to take the bar in a slight J pattern, and a lot of this is going to depend on where you touch to begin with. Because Marissa has a high touch point, this is not as exaggerated as a position, but as Marissa touches, she creates leg drive that drives the bar back over her face and up. In doing this, what we're trying to achieve is the shortest moment arm possible. If Marissa was to touch very low on her chest and push the bar straight up from there, right now the distance from the bar to her shoulder is much greater. But as she pushes the bar back over her face, this distance between the bar and the shoulder lessens. That smaller distance is going to be a much stronger position for her to press from. A very simple way for athletes to understand this is they bring the bar out of the rack and with straight arms move it towards their feet and then back over their face. There is going to come a time where the bar is basically directly over the shoulder, where it essentially feels weightless. And that is because it's the greatest mechanical advantage position to press from. So we want to get the bar into that position as quickly as possible. Now, doing that, we have to achieve that with leg drive, because if Marissa was just to come down and touch a little bit lower than your normal touch, and with only her arms tries to drive it back over her shoulder, you would see that it would either happen late, like what happened there, or if she were to get it there early, that she would have to kind of scoop her elbow under the bar and lose that relationship of bar over wrist, wrist over elbow that we're trying to achieve. So with your leg drive, it's going to help you achieve a more optimal bar path. Our friend Greg Nuckols has a great article about this called like Fixing Your Bar Path for a Bigger Bench, which has one of the best studies I've really ever seen on powerlifting, because it's done with very, very high level lifters that can give you some more data to support that. So go check that out on Greg's website, strongerbyscience.com. And just keep in mind that the leg drive is pushing down and away, that leg drive is going to initiate the bar backwards over the face in a small J pattern. Depending on where you touch on your chest, it may be more pronounced than others. Because Marissa touches so high, it's a very subtle thing, but we're trying to get the bar back over the shoulders as quickly as possible to decrease the length of that moment arm and essentially make the weight feel as light as possible. So that concludes our series on pillars for great bench press technique. We've addressed foot position and pressure, scapular control and upper back position, where the bar goes in your hand, wrist position, grip width, where the bar touches on your chest, breathing, and now finally leg drive and bar path. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, watch all the videos, ask us questions in the comments, watch the squat series on this, and look for our upcoming series on the deadlift and sumo deadlift. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. Get expert program design, video analysis, and guidance for powerlifting and weightlifting, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced athlete, through Team Juggernaut's online coaching. Click Learn More to sign up.